Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
My name is Ronnie,
I'm Corinne.
and this is Cash Family Values.
We are so happy that you have decided to tune in and join us on this crazy ride that we figured that we would let kind of everybody in.
Yes, because that's what we do. We let everyone in.
So we hope that as you enjoy the videos that we kind of share, we're going to give you a glimpse into our lives. I have to say that it's been probably years. I think first my friend in college said, you really should have a camera crew follow you around because the craziest things happen to you and people would think that it was like directed and it was a script, and that's just my life. And I think the same thing just happens with us.
Yeah.
So we figured, sure, why not? We have a heart for marriages at the core, and so we hope that we can inspire you, inspire your love life, your marriage, yourself as a person, if you're a mom, if you're a wife, if you're a husband, whatever it is. We hope that we can spread some joy, give some knowledge, and
bring some realist expectations, or just some realism to everyone's expectations when it comes to being married.
Yes, because we live in a generation where it's all about social media, right? And I think sometimes we get caught up in the comparison mode, and so the only things that you see from your friends, or even I would say even from us, because when I think about it and I compare myself, we don't post bad stuff. But you guys would just see the trips and those we want to cover on the channel as well. So we'll really bring you guys in to our life when we do our crazy road trips or go into wherever it is in the world we travel. We're going to take you guys with us on that journey as well. But
because there's nothing better on a family trip than sharing it with all of you. We love you.
You're gonna get to know and love this one here. His friends know him and love him for who he is.
His friends?
Well, I love you too.
His friends know him and love who he is, but
I love you too.
I just tolerate him a little bit.
Whatever. Okay, so like I was saying, thanks, hun.
Yes.
Sometimes we get caught up in the comparison and you just see what other people do and it's just smiley faces and laughter and having a good time. But let's be honest, for those of us who are married, real stuff happens. And it's not all smiles and giggles all the time. And sometimes we need help kind of maneuvering that just to make sure that our marriages are as rock solid, even in times of conflict. So we're gonna have a couple of marriage tips and different segments. So we're kind of excited about this.
She says excited. I say terrified.
It's like an excited,
meaning,
terrified
I don't know.
journey. But whatever it is, we are so glad that you are going to be a part of it. So I think the best way to start off this journey with everyone is to go back to the beginning and kind of talk about our love story.
Well, I'm not sure we have all that time to go all the way back there.
Well, we'll skip a few
story.
parts in the middle. Anyway, let's see if you can remember, when was the first time we met? Like the very first time we met? You don't know.
Okay, well, first of all, a little bit of context is needed. Or is it context? Preface. I preface
context
this.
is fine, yes.
Okay, a little bit of context is needed because we're both from the Bahamas.
Yes.
I don't know if you're hearing the accent from her.
I'm from Nassau, by the way.
I'm from Freeport, so we're from two separate islands.
Yes.
Beautiful islands. I think mine is more beautiful, but it's not a debate we're not gonna deal with right now.
No,
so,
we're not gonna debate the falsehood.
While living in the Bahamas, we both attended churches, and her church, which is the famous BFM, where
Bahamas Faith
the late
Ministries.
great Dr. Miles Monroe was the pastor at the time when we were visiting. I was a part of a music group, and we traveled over there, so that's how we got associated with the church. And this time, I was traveling to spend some time with my buddy, who also attends the church. And I do music, he does music, so we were connecting to do some music together. And we were just hanging out by the church. We were upstairs in the cafeteria, and
you were playing the piano.
Oh, they had a piano. Okay, I couldn't remember because there's a few occasions where we meet by the piano keys, but that occasion, I was playing with the piano, and she was doing something with one of the people at the event. And she came over because I guess, she wanted some French vanilla cream in in
That
a hot
is
chocolate.
not
But I don't
what
know. I don't know.
happened.
I don't know.
Okay.
But whatever the case, she
He
came
was
over.
looking very lonely. Not
We
to make
tell
it
the
sound.
story really differently.
Well,
'Cause-
I tell it the way that it's truthful. So he was so everything you said so far before that point was true. There were like groups, everyone was doing kind of stuff. So everyone was like in a group of sort, right? So, you know, whether you're talking to a friend or you're practicing, but he was the only one by choice that was just by the piano.
playing. I was playing while I was waiting on my
Yeah,
friend.
but it wasn't like, you know, you're playing because they're practicing and you need to play for that.
I was playing
It
because I was
just-
waiting on my friend.
Yeah, right. You were waiting on your friend, but you weren't like
about
talking to anyone else, and there were like a lot of people there. Anyway, fast forward.
all my cool
s-
friends I left home. So.
I saw him and I said, let me go just spread the love of Christ. Let me go say hi because now I'm intrigued. And I think that's just the kind of person I am. Like, I don't know why God just wired me that way. If I see someone that's just
the
like,
way she's just, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just the way she's describing this, you can tell where different people have different views. And it happens so much. And it happens so much in this marriage. And if you subscribe and stay tuned, you will see.
lots more of it.
You'll see. Then, because it was December, it was close to New Year's. I think New Year's Eve in the Bahamas, everyone goes to church for their New Year's Eve service.
Yeah.
Every
It's a
year is
Caribbean
an
thing, I
apocalypse
think.
on New Year's Eve. So I went to New Year's service and I was sitting there. Again, she would describe me as being alone. Actually, I was.
You were not alone, so I
very-
would not say that. You were not alone. You were there with, I don't even remember which friend you. I don't know if it was Manny or not, but you weren't by
Or
yourself.
I was sitting by myself because he was working. Anyway, I was there and just sitting and in the service, and then she, I think, approached me because she's a daring, dashing individual. She approached me and we just sat together for the service. Just
How did I approach you in the middle of service? I'm paying attention to the word of God that is
right.
being
So
delivered.
she sat and we just sat together and we just said Happy New Year to each other. Left, departed, and
You're missing out a lot.
one
here.
more. Really? I don't think so. Some of the smart remarks you want to have, yeah. But one more time during the same trip, it was a girls' thing, and I think you were attending as well. And it was crazy, and it was really probably inappropriate. But I had asked you for your cell phone number.
I do not recall it that way at all.
Okay, so how
I
do you
don't even
recall
remember that event you're talking about. But I do remember, let me tell you one thing, and if he does happen to listen to this, I don't know if you remember Minister K at the time, I think he's Pastor Kevin Harris now, but Minister K at the time had to tell you to shh, or he said like keep it down because you were,
Oh, did
he
you go
was
back to the
talking my
service?
ear off. Yes, we are still in the service. You were talking and you asked for my number or you gave me your number in that New Year's Eve service.
Well, hey, ain't no shame in my game. So, but
That's
anyway,
what I remember.
So that's how the numbers
how we met.
were exchanged. Whatever way she want to call it, you know, it's been a long time, you know, she's starting to forget a few things. But anyway, one way or another,
That's how
I
I
got her
remember it.
information, or we both exchanged information, and I went home back to Freeport, beautiful, lovely Freeport, and
You messaged me.
I think I messaged her.
you did.
I don't know how long after.
3
a couple of
months.
weeks. No, me messaging you. Did I message you 3 months after?
No, I responded
messaged you,
3 months after.
Yeah, I messaged her like probably a few weeks after. Or I could
It
even
was
be like
in
a week.
January, I think.
Right. But she did not respond, so I just, you know, kept living my life. And finally, I think 3 months later, she responded. Like literally to the text that
what's
was
up?
like whenever I was. I totally forgot the conversation.
I think I was even dating at the time. Well, I know that I took long to respond. Number one, because I was very busy. Like this was years ago when I was young, but I had a very, 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 very elaborate, long schedule. And it was I don't know, I think it was
Something
my
that
last
she
year of
maintains
school.
to this day. A very, very busy
We'll talk
schedule.
about that later. But I had a lot of things going on, but I want to say that I was also dating at the time. I had to admit.
I think I was actually dating someone at the time too. Which, you know, a wise man
Well.
always told me, or once told me, never put all your eggs in one basket.
Jeez, that's not what we're saying.
That might sound bad to some of you out there, but don't
Please
judge.
ignore that last message. Anyway, let's
Never
fast
put all your
forward
eggs in
before you
one
taint
basket.
the minds of our viewers. early on.
Are we gonna edit that out?
No, we're not editing
Cool.
anything. So
Realism. That's where you'll get here. It'll be wholesome, but it'll be realistic.
So let's fast forward. So he texts me, I respond 3 months later, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so in love with you. It was just like a, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
But that's where the friendship started.
And then I think we just talked a little bit more, and then I think
we'll fast forward through a crazy part of a relationship that I had.
After that was over, I think we connected again, and
maybe one day we'll talk about
and then we
that.
disconnected again, and then we connected again. So yeah, we did that a few times until we finally.
Can I tell the story of why we disconnected once?
No, we don't.
I'll share that with you guys later.
We don't speak about
That'll
those.
be the extra videos.
It was because she was young, all right, and I was not as young. Because obviously,
he was so concerned about what other people would say.
But yeah, it was a little daunting, it was a little shocking for me, but that's about it. I got over it really quickly, so yeah. Anyway, so after this,
we fast forward, and then I graduated high school. I moved to the US, and he followed me.
This is like I said, you're gonna get a lot of different views and different versions of the story. She believes I followed her, but actually one of my partners in music had recently moved here. He wanted to start up a music thing over here, so in the US as I'm playing.
And it just so happened to be around the exact time that
it just worked out because God
here.
is always doing
Isn't
things
he?
to
Won't
support
he
your
do
boy.
it? Won't he do it?
He's always looking after your boy.
So whether you believe my version that he actually came here for me, or his version where, God had just led him here, either way, it led us to each other.
Yes.
And we got married.
Well, not right then. 4 years passed, 2005, 2000.
In
2005. So yeah, 3 years and some.
3 years passed.
We both started attending the same church, and she like fast tracked her school. Like she did summer months in order to finish early.
Yeah, 4 years.
So she like graduated
like a long time
with her bachelor's in like 3 years. That's only the start of her accomplishments. They go up and up and up, and I'm off the camera, but that's okay. That happens 2008, June 28, 2008.
We'll skip the part, or maybe tell you guys at some other point or in another episode how we were originally supposed to get married in 2007. And then we had a very big altercation, and I decided we're gonna wait a year.
What you mean?
We're gonna talk about it later. Let's move on.
Okay, so we got married 2008, June 28, 2008, and we moved in together.
And it was, if I'm honest,
3 months.
Yes,
of
but
bliss.
even before that, it was, I don't want to say a struggle. So let's put this into perspective here. When we got married in June, I was 20. I was turning 21 in October. So take young me and still young him.
Older,
you were a little bit older.
Senior me.
And now we're getting married. And we did enjoy the first couple of months. And I remember a lot of people, a lot of my friends, my girlfriends, like, so what are you doing for protection? And I'm like, God's got me covered. A wing and a prayer, and I'm good. 3 months later, we're pregnant with our first baby.
Yeah. Marital bliss.
Marital bliss.
Like I said, marital bliss.
Yes.